Hey guys, Wasatch Will here. I am at the trailhead for Bullion Canyon outside of Marysville, Utah, because tonight I am aiming for campsite below Delano Peak, where I hope to summit that peak in the morning, then cruise on back down here and check out the little area here called Miners Park, just about a quarter mile up the road from here. There's a lot of old mining relics, historic gold mine that used to be pretty active here in the early 1900s. Since shut down, become a ghost town now, so it's pretty cool. Very popular among ATVers here. There are ATVs all over the road and trails coming up here. I'm sure we'll see many more tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna get out. It's there's a light rain, light sprinkles here. Could get a little worse before it gets better. I'm hoping it just stays light and thins out as the afternoon goes along. Weather should be good in the morning, and then it's supposed to get real stormy again tomorrow afternoon. So I'm gonna go give it a go. On my way up the trail here, like I said, about a mile to go to get to Bullion Falls. Check that out, and yeah, excited to see this area. Never been to up in the Tushars mountains before. Well, actually I have. Had a youth camp once on the western side of the Tushars outside of Beaver, Utah. But I've never been up here on the east side, so it's pretty cool. A nice little creek to follow the whole way up, so shouldn't be any trouble with water. The weather's holding out. It is cloudy. I traveled through a bunch of rain to get here, but I think things are lightening up now, and hopefully it stays that way, at least until I can get camp set up, which is about 4 miles up from here. Got my dog Sophie out. She's excited to be out, as she always is. And it's my first time backpacking with her this year. One mile to the falls. Cascade Falls coming up here on the left. It is not Bullion Falls. There it is. Way up there. There's Cascade Falls. Not to be confused with Bullion Falls, which is further up. This is just a tributary that feeds down into Pine Creek, from which Bullion Falls comes down. More officially at this Miners Park trailhead here. And on we go. No ATVs past this point. So half of what's left of the billboard at the trailhead here. Right at the trailhead here is remnants of an old structure. The falls. Well, this sucks. Guess that might be the end of my hike after all here. Kind of a bummer. Pretty canyon here. This must be the rock slide that allegedly has the trail closed. Honestly, doesn't look that hazardous, and looks like enough other people have actually stabilized a trail through it anyways here. So, gonna keep the course. Skies are opening up. Blue sky. Gotta love that. It's a gorgeous view. Made it past the rock slide. Unless there's another bigger one up ahead. But so far so good. Pretty nice looking little flat right in here. Look at that storm out there. Good thing it's behind me and appears to be going away from me. Well, I'm about halfway done here at the fork with South Fork Pine Creek trail here that goes right up to the base of Delano Peak. Could go that way and hike about 2 miles up to where I assume to be a good area to camp and be right below the peak to hit it in the morning. But I kind of want to check out the circuit or the moraine up here called the Pocket and walk under that in the morning. Should be beautiful up there as well. So I'm gonna actually stay on the trail to what will be my right here and go up to Bullion Pasture and look for a campsite up in there. I've got a little area marked out that looks good on a map. We'll see if it looks good in person. Here's the remains of another old cabin. Trail's really pretty right here. This green carpet. Gorgeous. This is what the underside of a tree looks like when it falls over. Massive root system. Here's a nice waterfall. Doesn't have a name on the map from what I can tell. Just visible off the trail. Woo! Well, I am well under a mile away from where I want to try and camp. took a little break, a little ways back, down by the creek. Pretty spot down there, and had a little breather, and then had to tackle more steep uphill and switchbacks just now, so a little bit more winded, but it's about to get real up here. It's such a pretty trail though. Kind of reminds me a lot of being back, well, being in the northwest where I have not been yet, but from, again, pictures, video, seen of that place, and trails up there. You've got a good taste of it coming up to here. Here's my views now. This is where I came from. Getting closer. I think we're officially in Bullion Pasture here. Beautiful. What do you think, Sophie? I think I'm gonna set up shop down in here. Got a little creek running by. Beautiful meadow of wildflowers up here. Camp's all set up now. It's about 8 o'clock in the evening. I think I'm gonna get dinner going here. It's gotten awfully cloudy all over. Lost all the blue sky I had coming up. But all is well now. If it decides it wants to start raining, I'm in a fairly good spot. Got a lot of higher trees around, fairly low-lying spot here, and so I think I am in a good enough spot if it wants to start up any thunder and lightning. But I haven't heard any thunder yet, so clouds are staying fairly light, nothing too dark. So if it does rain, I'm hoping that's all it happens. I think that's all it will be, is just a light rain if I get any more rain at all. So anyways, I'm gonna get dinner going and hopefully beat any rain that does want to come. So mountain house, rice and chicken, I think it is. Sophie has treed a chipmunk and she has not budged one bit for a long time now, since I started setting up camp. She is standing guard. So I'm rocking the fossil bowls for Sophie's food and water tonight. But she's still more interested in looking for squirrels and chipmunks. Oh. Dinner is served, I think. Best thing about bringing a dog backpacking, they can help you clean out your dishes. So we're in bear country up here. I am not sure how high the bears come up here in the Tushars. I know we're in the neighborhood of 10 to 11,000 feet high. But there isn't any good trees to throw a proper bear hang off of it, so I am resorting to my so-called Uinta bear hang method, which is basically just hanging it off a low-lying branch and trusting the odor-proof bags to do their job. It's bedtime now, 9 o'clock, but early bed for me because A, there's a fire ban. Most of Utah is under a fire restriction, so no open fires, and that includes all of southern Utah, which I'm kind of in central to southern Utah here. Yeah, we'll say southern Utah. even though it does not look a thing like it up here in the mountains. But yeah, no campfires allowed unless you're in a developed, established campground that's maintained with one of those developed fire pits. There's no fires allowed in the backcountry and whatnot, so super wet out there anyways, but so even if I could do a fire, it'd probably be hard to get one going because of how wet it is. We are in the middle of monsoon season, so almost every afternoon, almost like clockwork, there's rainstorms and thunder showers that dot the landscape. So anyways, I'm gonna do a little bit of reading and maybe watch a video or two on my phone and call it a night. Gorgeous sunrise this morning. Wow. Good morning. It's day 2 of this brief 2-day trip. It's almost 7 o'clock now. I actually woke up about 6, just in time for a beautiful sunrise. Maybe one of the most beautiful ones I've ever seen. So that was awesome. And so now I'm about ready to break camp and then grab a Cliff Bar and take my breakfast to go as I strike for Delano Peak. Got to get up there early before the clouds gather back in, and supposed to get stormy again this afternoon, so I definitely want to be well on my way back down when that happens. And here's the food bag. Doesn't look like it's been touched. Awesome. Oh. We're on our way now. Really beautiful up in here. So here we are at the turnoff for the Pocket Trail, number 216 it looks like. That's going to connect me with the junction to the trail for Delano Peak, which is trail 224, and that is 2 miles to go. So 2 miles of the Pocket Trail, and then we're on our way up to Delano Peak. Here's the first views of the Pocket. Beautiful. Unfortunately, clouds are already gathering up. Don't like the look of that. It's not even 9 o'clock yet. Gonna have to make a decision once I get down to the junction down here. Sophie's sniffing out a marmot she saw on the rocks. Come on, Sophie. Well, I'm at the junction for the Delano Peak trail. Delano Peak's just right here, about a mile up, and the clouds aren't too dark yet. They're staying pretty light and thin, so I think I've got time. I think it's only about 9:20 now, so hopefully I can get up there by 10 o'clock and then bust back down as quick as I can. So let's go give it a shot. Never been to Ireland or Iceland, but this has got to come close. There's Delano Peak up there. Just gotta gain the saddle here and easy little ridge walk up to the top. Wow, it's so breathtaking up here. So gorgeous. There she is. We're getting close. Looks like a couple people up there. Probably came up from the other side. Couple 100 yards left. Here's the final approach. Woo! Yeah. We have arrived. Look at that. 12,169 feet. This is the highest peak of the Tushars mountain range. It's the third highest range in the state of Utah. And it's also the high point of two counties, if I remember right, Piute County and Garfield County. Whew. Woo! Feels good to get up here and do this. This is simply spectacular up here. Well, I'd love to stay and linger a little longer, but gotta get off of here before weather has a chance to get any worse. It's starting to sprinkle a bit. Don't want to test the clouds any more than I have to. And I'm just eager to get back home to my family, actually back to Torrey. I drove about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to the trailhead from Torrey. So my family's back at my in-laws, so I'm gonna go back down there, have afternoon ice cream and dinner with them before we get back on the road back home to Provo. It's been a wonderful way to celebrate Pioneer Day. 24th of July here in Utah is when we celebrate when the pioneers, the Mormon pioneers, came and settled the Salt Lake Valley, and from there the rest of the state of Utah and throughout the Mountain West. Other folks who aren't so Mormon celebrate it as Pioneer Day, or Pioneer Day, that is. So I'm thinking pie and root beer for me sounds pretty good. Being a Mormon, I don't drink the real beer, but root beer is always awesome. All right, down we go. another one. I missed the people that were up there before me, and now there's someone up there again. So Delano Peak's up behind this ridge up there, just came down from there. And just heading down, descending down to rejoin my pack and get going down the South Fork Pine Creek Trail. Reunited with my pack, and now I'm ready to head down to South Fork Pine Creek Trail and take that all the way back down to the Bullion Canyon, Bullion Falls Trail, and back down to the car. So about 2 miles to the junction with the Bullion Creek Trail, and 2 more miles from there back down to the car. 4 miles to go from here. Should go by fast, all downhill from here. So beautiful up here too. Said that in the previous videos of other places, but man, this is right up there. Pretty cool. Coming up on an old cabin up here. Interesting. Who knows what people have done all inside this old cabin. That's cool. Some old relics. Keep on trucking. Another waterfall down there. Down we keep going. Another waterfall out in the distance there. The bird is bouncing to the beat of something. There's just waterfalls galore. Wild strawberry. So I'm hiking through some dense forest here, and there's some crows up above squawking their beaks off. And it's kind of creepy when you're all by yourself. It's like, are they squawking at me, or are they getting excited about something stalking me? Maybe they see something I don't. But they're definitely tracking us down the canyon here. Almost back to the junction. Just gotta cross this guy.
Sophie. Good girl. Good girl.
Well, here I am with the junction to the trail I took up yesterday, finishing the lollipop loop here. Now it's back down the final 2 miles. Probably gonna stop again at Bullion Falls, maybe see if I can get a little closer to them this time down. And then another mile back out to the car. Onward and downward. On the final mile now, just had a brief stop back at Bullion Falls back there. Unfortunately, while I was trying to set up a picture on a branch, there was another little branch off that branch that I didn't see. And as I was trying to look, compose it in the view in the screen, that branch got me in the lip here and got me pretty good. So, yeah. That's gonna take a little while to heal. Not sure if it's showing up there, but you probably don't want to see it very closely. So, final mile means back into the range of hearing all the ATVs down here. Again, this is all very close to the Paiute Trail up here. Marysvale down the road, being kind of a big stop along the Paiute Trail and real popular for ATV enthusiasts to come up this way and check out the canyon, check out the falls, and check out the Miners Park, the old gold mining ghost town down at the bottom by the trailhead that I parked at. And so I'm kind of eager to check that out for a few minutes when I get back as well. And there's the car. Yay. Just gonna get in and drive the quarter mile up the road to check out Miners Park. Woohoo! Made it! Gonna go scout out this Miners Park and see if it's worth bringing the family back sometime. So, Miners Park is officially the former city of Webster, established 1869. This is pretty cool, inside one of these miner cabins. A pickaxe down there. Old hard hat up there on the top of the doorway. Gotta have an outhouse. So here's some old technology here. Okay, that's a really neat looking restroom. There's an old boiler here, used for generating power. Done with Miners Park. It is a pretty neat little place to learn a lot about history of mining and this little area out here. Some old relics too, some old abandoned authentic mining ruins. The Miners Park itself is a display, kind of like a outdoor museum designed for that display. Um, so, but yeah, there's a few buildings on the way that not supposed to go up to them because they're supposedly private property and no trespassing signs abound, but still get a few good pictures right off the side of the road. So, a really cool area. So after passing through Marysville, which is actually a really cool town because literally half the traffic in that town are ATVs all over the roads there, just hanging out, having a good time. So looks like a fun thing to do. I think if I had ATVs or friends with ATVs, doing the Paiute Trail would be a fun trip. In the meantime, went through Richfield and then came down through Loa here, stopped at the market, picked up dinner for the family. So I'm taking back dinner and some treats for the family, the kids, the wife, Jessica and her parents. So we'll have a nice big dinner, and also got some pie, apple beer, and root beer to celebrate Pioneer Day and Pioneer Beer Day. Alright, well, made it back to Torrey, got the family all fed, and now we're about ready to bust into our pie and beer, our root beer, apple beer, ice cream, root beer floats. So some final thoughts from the trip up to Delano Peak and the Tushars. That area was so spectacular, beautiful, up in the high basins and all around the peak up there. I'm really surprised that is not a designated wilderness area. It is so pristine, and really it should be a designated wilderness area. It's so beautiful, so pretty. So anyways, I am so glad to have that peak done. It's been a long time coming, and I'm glad I went the way I did. There's a shorter route up to it that you can drive up a Forest Service dirt road and hit it from the other side, which is where those other people that I saw up on the peak before I got there and after I got off. But I wanted to experience so much more than just a quick little hike up to Baga Peak. I wanted to really check out that Bullion Canyon area, and man, it's blew my mind. Just so much more than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I expected it to be pretty, but wow, the whole way up was just absolutely beautiful. Beautiful trip, worth the overnight. Woke up to a spectacular sunrise. Next trip is going to be Yellowstone trip next week with a youth group, young men group from our church group. We're going to take up the young men in our church congregation and go have a few nights up in Yellowstone and go check that out. I'm excited for that. I've never been to Yellowstone. We've got quite a full agenda planned, and I'll shoot what I can and take a lot of pictures for sure. So stay tuned for that.